Let me see. There we go. Hey, everybody. What's up? Who is that? Jameson. How you doing? Thank you for joining. It's Dakisha Williams. Woo! This is Dakisha Williams, your virtual COO, and I am coming to you live. And you know what? I'm actually excited about today's topic because I was scrolling online yesterday and a question was asked, what's the difference between a VA and an OBM? So before I get into the description, let me tell you a little bit about myself if you've never participated in any of my scopes or live streams. My name is Dakisha C. Williams, and I am your virtual COO. That is a virtual COO. Hey, Elaine, and welcome. I operate and manage entrepreneurs' businesses from the comfort of my own home. So I would greatly appreciate as you all are joining if you share. Number one, how you doing? Thank you. Make sure there is either the double tap for the hearts and then the like or the heart likes on Facebook live stream. But this is a really cool topic, okay? So just to kind of back up. Oh, let me share something. I shared this with another live stream. So here you go, right? This is my first company that I started about 7 years ago. Sassy, say that fast. SassyShoeGallery.com. So you notice that everything I talk about is always sassy, right? I still teach the sassy business model. It's about systems, automation, sales, strategy, and your virtual COO. How cool is that? So that is, I developed this business about in 2010. I did it, I'm not going to say completely on my own, but mostly on my own. I did hire a marketing company to help me with some of the launch items, right? And so I started at the age of 16 as what was I? I was a assistant manager. Hey, Trinette, thank you so much for joining. Hey, Lisa. So, I got some VAs on the line. It's going to be juicy. I know they saw that VA. Shay was like, let me see what she's talking about. Hey, how you doing? Yes, that's right. I'm talking about y'all. Not a bad way, though. The VAs jumped on, was like, what she over here talking about? But anyway, so I started at the age of 16, right? And I was an assistant manager. Did it for over 20 years. So I have 20 years of operational management experience. And so I've always operated and managed someone else's business on someone else's payroll, right? Lovely. And so one of the things that the person, I was scrolling through yesterday and they said, what's the difference between a VA and an OBM? Well, of course, VA is a virtual assistant, right? And an OBM, if I don't know, I'm not sure if you're familiar with that terminology, is an online business manager. So let's talk about what some of the differences are. And I'd love for you guys to chime in as well, okay? So, and this is my personal opinion of what I have assessed the differences between the two. I do not consider myself a VA, and I will tell you why. This is why if you go to my site, you will see that I am a virtual COO. I hire VAs. I actually hired 2 VAs, and I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to tell you the difference. All right. So I wrote it down. So let's talk about the online business manager. First of all, online business manager, think about the word management. Management means is that they oversee processes. They oversee projects. Think about a project manager. Now, can a VA do these things? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not saying that they cannot operate as a project manager if they are skilled. However, VAs and OBMs have 2 different skill sets. Think about when you hire a VA. And this is what I teach in my outsourcing class. This is why it's very, very, very important to make a list of your daily responsibilities in your company. Because a lot of times when people hire a virtual assistant, what do they want them to do? They want them to make phone calls. They want them to send out emails, prepare documents. They want them to, I'm just trying to think, maybe put together Excel spreadsheets or something like that. I've hired a virtual assistant who's actually very good at social media management. Not a social media strategist, but very good at social media management. There's a difference. Strategist means strategy. It's a difference between posting and having a strategy on social media. That's like a whole nother broadcast. So somebody type that either on Facebook or Periscope, because that's a whole nother broadcast. All right. And yes, I'm going in on a Friday. Yep. All right. So hang with me, Lisa. So Lisa, I know you're a virtual COO. Let me know some of the things that you do. And I got a project manager on. Yes, Carla. Tell them what the difference between a VA and a project manager and an OBM. I'm loving this already. Like, I'm already excited about this broadcast. Yep. Keep sharing them hearts. Keep tapping that screen. Because y'all know what time it is. All right. So let me see. Other things that VAs do. I talked about outbound calls. Research. They do research. Yes. Good. That's a good one. You can, kind of chime in if you like. Comment below. If you're watching the replay, you still can comment as well. But they're very good for researching. Researching for speakers, finding different conferences that are going on and seeing if there are any opportunities for the speaker to present, right? Appointments. Thank you, Lisa. You got it. So notice that I'm telling you different tasks that a VA does, right? So let's talk about the online business manager. Online business manager is the one who implements the processes that the VA is going to do. So there's a difference between delegating and demonstrating. Y'all got to understand, I got some leadership development in me. I've been in management, so I know how to teach. I know how to train all day long. So I'm going to break it down to you. And I love them both, okay? So I love my virtual assistants because they keep me sane, like both of them. And actually, I just lost one, so we're getting ready to replace that one. We're hiring. Whoop. So anyway, so your online business manager is responsible for developing the processes and systems in an organization that others should be implementing. And so this is what gets very, very interesting. And I've had this actual situation as a virtual COO. They get it twisted, or they get it, they take it for, they get a misunderstanding. Let's just say that. And VA is a tactical, online business manager is strategic. Yes, absolutely. So here's what's funny, right? And I think we had an issue on the other stream. But yeah. So when it came time to it, they felt like the virtual COO or OBM wasn't playing a role because they weren't doing the tactical stuff. They weren't doing the activities, right? Okay, but as your job as an OBM, your responsibility is to go out and find the people that can get the task done, because you're responsible for the process. You're responsible for overseeing the process. Now, don't get me wrong. If you don't have someone in position to get the job done, then yeah, it's my responsibility to do job until I hire someone and I teach them and I demonstrate the activity or demonstrate the behavior that I want them to display. And this is what I used to teach when I worked in retail management for years, and everyone wanted to move up, right? Everyone wanted to progress. Even me, I wanted to be a regional manager. I was a district manager. So what do? You got to learn how to replace yourself. You have to train your subordinates, right? You have to train the people that are below you how to implement or demonstrate the behaviors that you want them to, so you can get promoted. Hello, come on, y'all. So it's your responsibility as a business manager or operations manager to show the people on your team what you want them to do. And the best way to do it is not to speak it, but to demonstrate it. And what I have found is that it's easier for them to see clearly and exactly, precisely what you want them to do by actually demonstrating. Me, I'm kinesthetic, so I'm hands-on. You got to show me. You want me to type? You said you want me to type? I'm going to type, right? So you have to show me and demonstrate the behavior that you want me to display. That's just how I learn. And so that's how I teach. And so that's how I train. That's how we build teams. That's how I teach people to build teams. So that's the difference. And don't get me wrong, a VA is going to teach another VA how to do specific activities, but it's a whole nother ball game when you're managing an entire project or you're overseeing $1 million business or a $600,000 business versus, doing day-to-day activities. Your job is to hire someone, and this is your job as a CEO, is to hire someone to take care of the day-to-day activities so that you can actually walk in the role as a COO. As you can tell, I am very passionate about operations management because this is my life. Like, I absolutely love it. So the number one difference, I love the fact that Carla said it's a tactical versus strategic. Yes, it's my job to implement strategies in your business that help you generate revenue. I'm not saying I'm going to do the day-to-day tasks. I'll hire people to do it. All right. So the other thing that I wanted to share was delegate and demonstrate. So we talked a little bit about that. CEO, I love it when the CEOs join this kind of conversation. Okay. And so the last thing that I wanted to share was that the accountability for the different levels of accountability. So for virtual assistants, for example, Lisa was watching on Facebook, they're responsible for how many appointments that you set, right? OBM, they're responsible for how much money you spend in payroll. There's a difference. Huge difference, right? So they have a different level of responsibility. They're accountable for different numbers in a business. And so there's an opportunity for a VA who's interested in project management to advance to that level. But don't get it mistaken. When you are hiring and when you are looking to build your team, you need to understand, who do you need on your team? Do you need a VA or do you need a OBM or virtual COO? So it was an excellent question because she was very unclear. And I said, you know what? I'm going to stream about that one because that's a good question. And I think a lot of people don't understand the difference between the two. So as an OBM, and I teach that everybody on the team has to be responsible for some type of number. Even if you are a social media strategist, you better be responsible for how many impressions that ad is getting, what my cost per clicks is getting. And I know this might be up here for some of y'all. If you've ever listened to any of my live streams, you know that I am very analytical and I'm very serious about the numbers. I'm not talking about how many likes an ad got or how many shares an ad got or, has received or, but what's the cost per click, cost per impressions? Like what's the return on investment for running that ad? When you come to my team meeting on Monday and Friday, those are the things that I expect for you to speak to. Okay. Payroll. I do a report for one of the CEOs. We got to manage payroll. We just had a meeting. We just had a meeting this week and let them know there is no overtime in my business because there's absolutely no reason that you running the time clock up. I looked at payroll and said, hold up, let's call a meeting. But these are the things that when you have staff that you think about. As a solopreneur, it's just you and you're probably not even paying yourself. So you need to be able to get to a point where you can pay yourself. If you're not paying yourself, you need to be in a 21-day revenue challenge. You can join it by going to 21dayrevenuechallenge.com. If you're not paying yourself, you need to be in a revenue challenge because apparently you are either mismanaging your money or you're not generating enough revenue in your business to pay yourself. So I'm telling the truth and y'all know it. I'm sorry. I'm passionate about it. But anyway, so OBM is responsible for different numbers and accountable for different numbers in a business versus the VA. So OBM actually hires a VA to implement the strategies or implement the activities in the business. So I hope that you all learned something today, right? I hope that you learned something today about the difference between a VA and an OBM. So now I want you to ask yourself, which one do you need? My name is Dakisha Williams, your virtual COO, and I'm bringing you today's tip, the difference between a VA and an OBM. I appreciate it, and I'll catch y'all on the next time.